Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, and happy solstice. We are here at Spiritual Chit Chat. I'm Michele Amburgey, the Awakener, one of many. And the energies are interesting, aren't they? I'm so happy to be here. Happy to be here with you guys on this wonderful summer solstice energy. We've got so much going on. Ooh, even as I'm saying this, I'm getting chills already. It's so wonderful. So, we're going to talk a little bit about mermaids today, and we're going to do just a little solstice blessing, a little meditation and blessing. I'm going to wait a few minutes before we get started, just giving people an opportunity to get on. Hi, Karen. Hey, Rachel. Rachel's in the house. Karen's in the house. Welcome, everybody. Happy solstice. Um, it's I did not sleep last night at all. I had a really busy day. I had a day that was kind of, hi Barbie, yay. I had a really busy day yesterday. It was a lot of like creating content, like a lot of creative brain stuff going on, and I was so tired. And I got done about 9:30, and I got, a nice cup of tea, and I settled down. I got all snuggled down with my cat. And I'm thinking, oh man, I'm going to sleep good tonight. And about 15 minutes later, I was just like, whoa. And I was wide awake all night long. I fell asleep maybe for a half an hour this morning after the sun had come up. So I took a little nap a bit ago, but I can really feel this. Hi, Charlene. I can really feel this kind of, I don't know, floaty, buoyant kind of energy right now. And it's kind of interesting because, we're going to talk about mermaids a bit today, just a little bit, not a lot. Um, but it feels all mermaidy. And I found when I was messing around with my Restream here, because I stream this into YouTube from Restream, and also into my Facebook business page, Intuitive Michele Amburgey. And I saw this little doodle. I said, what is this? And it was so perfect. It went with the mermaid thing. It went with the doodle. And so I was delighted to get that. And it's kind of cool to have a little opening there. So let me know how you guys like that. If you thought that was kind of cool. Um, so mermaids, solstice. Today is a really potent day, you guys. Today is a very potent day. It's a very powerful day. It's a really good day to take a look at the things that you've been struggling with in a pattern. If you have the same things over and over. I know one of the things that I struggle with is I'm always worrying about money. It's just like constant. It's like, oh my God, I didn't make enough money this week. Oh my God, stock market's crashing. And I got a message a couple of days ago where it was like, it's what we're thinking about, what you think about, you bring about, right? And that I really need to deal with that pattern. So one of the things that I'm doing with this solstice energy is I am like all day today, I've been just saying, I release my fears around money. I release my need to control. I release my fears around money. I release my control, and just turning that up into the light. And as the light, it transmutes. I mean, that's what it is. That's what ascension is. Our light body gets so strong that it transmutes all the lower, denser energies, and zing, bang, boom. We're in that transcended state. And so today is a really good day to take a look at what has been a repeated pattern over and over for you, and just consciously say, I release this. I release this. You don't have to get into the minutia of everything, right? You don't have to dig it apart and figure out why, but you do need to identify what it is. And some of us have more than one. My other one is is, I have physical things. I've got that Epstein-Barr virus thing, and so it's chronic fatigue and it's chronic pain. I got Hashimoto, so it's the thyroid thing. So it's the weight is always an issue, the exhaustion, the pain is always an issue. And so I also have been doing I release my need for pain and exhaustion. When I first said that, I'm like, I don't need pain and exhaustion. That's not right. But when you have repeated things going on in your life, when you're staying in that cycle, it may be sabotaging, but there's also something in your subconscious mind that it is fulfilling. It's doing something for you that your subconscious mind allows you to continue to stay in that patterning. And so I release my need for pain. I release my need for being overweight. I release my pain, my need for exhaustion, and just releasing that, releasing that, releasing that. And have been really tired today, needless to say, because I didn't sleep last night. But I was doing some of that work a couple hours ago, and I took a little nappy and just really woke up refreshed, feeling calm, just kind of feeling this floaty solstice energy with joy in my heart again. And so I wanted to share that with you guys as a little tool to work with the energies, to use this solstice energy to release some of these patterns, because the patterns, even the paradigm we live in, the matrix that we live in, that requires these kind of cycles and patterns, is beginning to disintegrate itself. It's beginning to break down. We're seeing it in really big ways in the world at large, but it's also for us individually. And so these old patterns, these old paradigms, these old matrices on the individual level are also beginning to break down. So let's help it. Let's consciously say, I release my need for pain and exhaustion. I release my struggle with money. I release my fear with money. I release my need to control. I release my fear in general. I release my fear. We're seeing a collective fear in the world too. It's affecting all of us. I release any fear that I have that may be holding me down or holding me back. I release my fear to stand up and be seen and heard. Ooh, that's a scary one too, a lot of times for people. I release my fear of not being loved, of not being accepted. I release my fear. I release my fear of being abandoned. It's another big one that I run across in my business. I release my fear of not being able to control. So I release my need to control, but I also release my fear of not being able to control. So there's little things. And so think about, yeah, Charlene, thank you. I'm so glad that helps, because there's all these little things that we can do because we're in this amazing energy, not just today, which today is like, whoa, but also, we're moving through this reveal, this revelation, this evolution of our consciousness. And so let's do everything that we can to consciously say, no, I'm releasing my fear. I'm releasing my need for control. I'm releasing my need for this exhaustion and pain. I'm releasing this, and see what happens. Also, today and the next, even between now and the next, in September, which is going to be the equinox. So for the next 3 months, also releasing addictive things. This is an energy right now, and a lot of the planetary alignments that we have is around addictions. What are you addicted to? And it's not about drugs and alcohol. It's not about gambling. It's not about sex. It's the little things. What are you addicted to? And I had to say, when I get done at the end of the day, because I'm tired, and I have pain in my body, I have a lot of pain in my body sometimes. I plop myself down in my recliner and I watch Netflix. And I was thinking about this last night, like, what am I addicted to? What do I need to let go of? And I kind of went like, no, not my Netflix. And then I went, oh, wow, that was a really strong response, right? And so one of the things that I'm doing is I am limiting my Netflix. I love to binge on the old things. I'm watching a Stargate right now. Was that Stargate 1? I think it is. And I love it. It's fun. It's a little bit pertinent to what's going on in the world today, the things that I'm interested in. But it's like, no, instead of turning it on and watching it for 3 hours, I can turn it on, I can watch two, and then I turn it off. I'm going to meditate or do some yoga or some breathing or some stretching or something like that. Now, a lot of times I do that while I'm watching it. So I'm multitasking, but it's so much better to do yoga in the peace and the quiet and just allowing yourself to be present with yourself. And that's that distraction, right? That's that distraction. So look at where you have addictions. Look at where you are addicted to behaviors, to things, to people, to places. And now, if you have a beautiful place that you go that brings you peace and harmony, that's not an addiction. But, going to, I don't know, going to a particular restaurant where there's a lot of drama, or maybe a speakeasy, a bar, or a place where there's drama where it kind of stirs you up, it kind of takes you out of that beautiful, peaceful place. Think about those things. That it just crossed my mind. Somebody said, "Oh, work is drama. I need to quit my addiction to work." Maybe you do. But think about that. So we're going for addiction. We're going for places where we have those patterns, those cyclical patterns that aren't serving us, because we've got such beautiful energies. We've got solar codes coming in. We've got the Schumann resonance off the chart. All the solar codes are so powerful. And when we release things, we create space within our fields, within our consciousness, to receive more of their codes. Also, about the solar codes, I wanted to bring something up. I had someone say to me that they work from sun up to sundown and they can never get outside and get the solar codes. And she was really upset because she was like, I can't get in the sun. I'm missing out. I can't get the solar codes. And I want to tell you, being out in the sun and receiving them that way is wonderful, and the sun is really good for you. It's good, you get your vitamin D and all that stuff, and it helps to clear your chakras and stuff. But if you can't get out there, you still get those codes if you choose to. If you say, I receive the codes, because they're everywhere, they're in the air, just like cell phone waves and TV waves and all the waves of information we have going through the air. The codes are there too. So just in case anybody was wondering about that or thinking about that, if you want them, you will get them. You don't have to be outside to receive them, although going outside is wonderful. But I know we're starting to get a little bit toasty too. I'm here in Southern California and it was pretty warm yesterday. Not quite as warm today, but it's getting a little toasty. At the beginning of the year, when it starts getting warm, until we are acclimated, it feels like it's really hot. So I hope everybody's doing good. Welcome to everybody who's getting on again. I am Michele Amburgey, the Awakener, one of many. And some of you are Awakeners too. If you're here and you're drawn to this and you're drawn to, these little mini spiritual teachings and readings, divination, getting guidance from spirit, you probably are an Awakener too. There's many ways that we awaken. And keep in mind, if you're doing any kind of spiritual work, you are an awakener because you're awakening yourself. I had an experience, it's been a couple of years ago, where I had this amazing inner journey, where I was shown that I was this great big huge Buddha, this great big huge Kuan Yin kind of an energy, and I was told I was Bodhisattva, and I just went, I don't want to be Bodhisattva, because Bodhisattvas, from what I understood, like you sacrifice your life and lifetime after lifetime until humanity wakes up, and I was like, no, I'm not doing. I got a little selfish, but it wasn't selfish, because what I did is I went and I started studying and I started looking for, what is the real meaning of bodhisattva? What is a bodhisattva? Looked at a lot of different teachers, and I ran across this one teacher, and I wish I could remember his name. And he was a Buddhist monk, and he was explaining that there's a misunderstanding with the whole bodhisattva thing, where bodhisattvas don't sacrifice themselves until humanity wakes up. A bodhisattva awakes themselves and becomes that presence in the lives of others that is awakened. And a rising tide lifts all ships. So being awakened is the frequencies going up, and as you raise your own frequency, the frequencies around you go up. Now, some people fall off the boat, you know, but that's okay because then they learn to swim, and then they learn how to get back on that boat, how to get back onto that whole awakening process. Sometimes people have to kind of fall down and skin their knees to realize that they need to do something different. And awakening is not one way either. There's a million different ways to awaken. And what is awaken? Becoming conscious of self is kind of basically what it is. And so just a little information. Hey guys, hey Dana. There's so much fun information and kind of misinformation. If we're doing our work, if we're taking care of ourselves, if we're loving ourselves, if we're making conscious decisions, I release my need for control. I admit it, right? Or I release my need for pain. I release my pain, my need for exhaustion. I release whatever it is that makes me continue that cycle. When we start doing that, it seems simple. It seems so easy, but these are the things that make a difference. And then practice on a continual basis. You create new cycles, new patterns that are healthy and that feed you. So I wanted to share that a little bit, especially with this solstice, because we've got the energy, ladies and gents. We've got the beautiful energy to be doing this right now. Today, and you know, if you guys aren't meditating long time, meditate long time today. When we get done here today, please sit down, at least do about a half an hour, and just allow yourself to connect into that spiritual energy. How I do that a lot of times is I focus on my third eye chakra, and then I lift my awareness up until I feel like I've expanded. Um, and that's one little way that I've done. I've been doing meditation and this kind of stuff for a long time, but I find that to be very simple. And so another little tool for you guys to kind of try and see, but if that helps. So what I want to do, oh, cool. Currently making a flower mandala. I'm trying to think who said that. Let me scroll us. Scroll down, scroll down. Come on. Come on. Oh, Rachel. Very cool, Rach. I love it. I love it. So let's do a little meditation. Let's do a little solstice, just tapping into this solstice, into this beautiful golden energy of solstice. That's another thing, is the light during the solstices and the equinoxes too, but especially the solstices has a particular quality to it. And I find it to be very golden. I find it to be very Christ-like. And I don't mean Jesus, although I love him, but I'm not meaning Jesus. I'm meaning the consciousness that Jesus embodied, the consciousness that Jesus came and said, you know, that the kingdom of heaven is within, you know, God is within, the Father is within, love one another, that consciousness. And I always feel it really, really potently. And so we're going to tap into that. So I wanted to let you guys know I'm not selling a religion or doing Jesus, other than I love him. But we are tapping into that energy that Jesus embodied and brought here. And he wasn't the only one. There were many. You know, Buddha was another one. He brought another aspect of Christ energy, teaching us to be unattached, teaching us to you know, take care of your own stuff, live your own road, keep your own road clean and straight. And that is all part of that. You know, it's all part of that. And we're learning it. So many great teachers we've had. We've had Gandhi. You know, you got to look at John Lennon too. Look at some of his music, read some of his lyrics. It's like, whoa, he was so way ahead of his time. And so many musicians, Prince, David Bowie. Oh my gosh, I can't even, I'm having all these faces flood into my mind right now, and just so many wonderful people that were giving us clues all along the way. So we want to thank them too. So let's all take a nice deep breath. We're going to do a beautiful little, just a little tap in. We're going to take about 5 minutes. Then I'm going to share with you a little bit about mermaids, and then we're going to go in and we're going to get some readings from the mermaids, and from our Lemurian connection as well. So let's all just take a nice deep breath, just breathing in. And just take a minute. I want to invite you guys. Go ahead and put your hands over your heart. Hi, Araceli. Just put your hands over your heart And just take a minute and just feel your heart chakra. You might even want to bring your awareness down into your heart chakra. And as you do this, let's take 3 nice deep breaths. And so just go ahead, breathe in, breathing into your heart. As you breathe out, just allow yourself to smile. This next breath, breathing in, I breathe in God. And breathing out, I smile. This is beautiful, Thich Nhat Hanh. Breathing in, I breathe in God, or maybe Goddess. Breathing out, I smile. Just allow yourself to smile. It's amazing how just smiling will lift your frequency, lift your countenance. And then I invite you, with your hand still on your heart, to bring your awareness up to the third eye chakra. And let's do 3 breaths too. Breathing in. Let's breathe into the third eye. Breathing in. Breathing in. I breathe in wisdom. Breathing out. I smile. One more. Breathing in. I breathe in wisdom in all of its many forms. Breathing out. I smile. Joy fills me. And one more time. Breathing in. I breathe in wisdom. And breathing out, I smile. I allow the joy of God, God is creator of wisdom, to fill me. I allow the joy to begin to express itself as a smile on my lips, as a rising frequency. And so just really quickly, we just ask, beloved beings of love and light, angels, archangels, and all of the angelic realms of love and light. We call upon you now, and holy ones, we wish you happy solstice, happy sunlight, happy light, happy love. We call upon the ascended masters. We call upon Christ consciousness. We call upon the I am that I am, that God is creator energy that runs in through and as each and every one of us. We just feel that beautiful presence. We call upon beloved Mother Gaia, Holy Mother beneath us, Celestial Father above, Holy Sacred Light within. And beloved ones, from this space, just very quickly, I invite you to do the little practice to say, I release my need for control. I release my need for fear and exhaustion. I release my cycle of pain and addiction. I release negativity. I release, again, let's do addiction. I'm getting that again. I release addictive behaviors. Let's do it that way. I release addictive behaviors. I release my fear of not being loved. I release my fear of being abandoned. I release my fear of being seen. And I release my fear of not being seen. I release my fear of loss. Good general, I release my fear of loss. I understand that the divine runs in, through, and as everything, that nothing is ever lost. It just transforms. I release my fear of transformation. I release the patterns that keep me stuck in lower frequencies. I release my fear of awakening. I release my fear of self-discipline. Ooh. I release my fear of responsibility for myself, because we know we're only responsible for ourselves. Very cool. I release my fear of the light. Archangel Michael is bringing some through. You wouldn't think we'd be afraid of that, but sometimes that is. I release my fear of God. I release my fear of Goddess. I release my fear of my multidimensional self. And just releasing these things, I release anything that no longer serves me. And I now state that all of the space that I've been creating, that I have created by these releasings, I call in the golden Christ light of Christ consciousness to move into my body, move into my psyche, move into my energy fields, all parts and places of my personal matrix, to fill all these spaces that I've created. Filling all those spaces with Christ consciousness, with wisdom, with understanding, with freedom, with good health, with pure love, love of self, love of others, with trust and faith. I fill in all the space that I've created with love for myself, with self-love. I fill in all these spaces that I've created by this releasing with holy presence, with my true and authentic self, with the highest consciousness of who I am, which is creator. We are the creators and we are the creation. We released our fear of being powerful. Fill that space in with the understanding that we are the creators. We created it and we can change and shift it. We're the creators of those creations. Ooh. And then let's take one deep breath, breathing in. And just say, I call in my highest self, my best and highest potential. I am sacred. I am holy. I am divine. I am that I am. And then let's take a nice deep breath, breathing in. As you release, anchor this energy in and allow your breath to flow down your body and anchor down in Mother Earth, bringing this energy into your matrix fully and completely, anchoring it in your third dimensional experiences. We want to experience this now. Let's take another nice deep breath, breathing in, breathing out, becoming aware of the space around you and your room and you in the space around you, you in this room. And one more nice deep breath, breathing in. And as you release, just say to yourself, I love you. I love you. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Just bring yourself back into this place and just feel that. It's like, woo, everything feels a little more stable, a little more settled. You guys did a great job. Good job. Good job. And that's something that you can use at any time too, a little technique. So I wanted to talk about mermaids for a little bit. A lot of you guys know that I am doing a 4-part course on the mystical realms. And we did dragons and we did unicorns, we did fairies this week, Thursdays at 6 p.m. or this Thursday at 6 p.m. I'm going to be doing mermaids. And I love mermaids. Ever since I was a little girl, I've been into mermaids. When we used to always have a pool. I'm so lucky, so blessed. We used to always have a pool and I would swim. And I felt like I could breathe underwater, and it would kind of freak me out, and I would go to the bottom of the pool, and I would sit there, and I would feel like I would breathe a little bubble out, and then I could breathe it in, and I could stay underwater for kind of a long time. So on several occasions, a family member, a friend would jump in because they thought I was drowning because I was underwater for so long. And so I love that. It's like I've always known I could breathe underwater, but I was trying to figure out how to do it in this body. And I loved it. I've always loved the mermaids. There's a lot of stories about mermaids, about how mermaids are almost like monsters of the ocean, singing men to their depth. And there's probably a part of that in there. The mermaids are very connected to, especially Atlantis, but also Lemuria. And mermaids are connected to the star system of Sirius. Um, the Sirian star system brought the dolphins and the whales and all the different species to this planet way, way, way at the beginning to bring that deep, powerful love and to bring that stabilizing factor that the dolphins and whales bring. And part of that was also the mermaids. It was also part of that as well. And so on Thursday, we're going to learn all kinds of good stuff about mermaids, about who they are, what they're about, a little bit about their history, and a little bit how to meet with mermaids, to have them as guides, because mermaids are wonderful guides. They're so loving, they're so cool, and it's kind of neat because I experience mermaids, personality wise, very much like the Disney Little Mermaid. They're very curious, they're very loving, they're very they love their trinkets and their things. They love shiny objects. They love to share with people. They're fascinated with humans. So when you want to work with mermaids or find a mermaid guide, they like come flooding in because they're so excited about learning about humans, working with humans. And so we can learn more on Thursday. I want to invite you guys. And also there is a mermaid energy that's actually coming in right now. Some of you may be feeling it. I'm trying to get a name, and it's a name that is kind of long. Thali. Thali. She's saying you can call me Thali. 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 Not Sally. Thali. The name is like Theal. I can't say it. It's got about 10 syllables to it. But she's saying you can call me Thali. And she's saying that she's here and she wants to help with doing readings and stuff for you guys. So she's very exciting. She's very excited and she's telling me she loves these cards. So the cards that we're going to be using is we're going to be using the Oceanic Tarot. So the ones I use all the time. Um, and then we're also going to be using these ones, the Beyond Lemuria cards. The Beyond Lemuria cards. Oh, and also, if you are interested in taking the mermaid class on Thursday, I do need you to register at least a little bit before the class, but you can find it on my website at micheleamburgey.com. You can find all of the different classes and stuff that I have across the top navigation bar. Go to Conscious Living Academy, pop there. You can see upcoming classes. We'll take you to all the different classes that are coming. Calendar will show you what's on the docket. I do a lot of stuff. I do spiritual chit chat on Tuesdays. I do a meditation Wednesday evenings. I have these master courses on Thursday evenings, not every Thursday evening, but usually I do them in sets of 3 or 4 and then take a week off and go along. And I also have a membership program as well to where you can get all kinds of good stuff and get discounts and all that kind of stuff. So you can check that out. But if you do want to do the mermaid class, I do have some openings still. I think I've got 4 more openings. So if you're interested in that, micheleamburgey.com. You'll notice my name is 1L, Michele, because I was supposed to be a boy and my mom wasn't sure how to spell Michelle. So I got 1L, which is kind of cute and I like it because it's unique. So you guys are ready. Go ahead and pop some questions in there and I'm going to take a look at what's going on. Let's see. Awana. Oh, hi, Awana. How you doing? I just had soul fragment retrieval, and one of the fragments was from Lemuria. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, and there's so many of us that are here that are I'm not I don't I hesitate to use this word, but I'm going to use it for lack of a better one. We're like remnants from Lemuria, from the different cycles of Atlantis. And we're here because we've been through this. We've been through this end of an age. We know how to do this. We know how to see the signs. We've learned these lessons. We've gained wisdom to be here to try to help stabilize Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, the waters, and each other through this change. Because this change isn't just a consciousness shift, it is the entire existence is shifting and changing right now. It's and beyond our universe as well. There are cycles within cycles with the suns and the planets and the stars and the stargates and the interdimensional portals and all kinds of stuff. And everything is being affected really powerfully. I can't talk so powerfully right now. I can't talk. And so, yeah, so retrieving those bits and pieces and stuff, Awana, is really, really important because it's going to bring you into wholeness and maybe help you to understand why you're here, how you can be of service. And that doesn't necessarily mean to other people, be in service to yourself and your own soul too. So that's cool. And I love that you just had it done and you pop in here. Ta-da! The world is a magical place. So let's see what we got here. Let's see. Barbie. So Barbie's saying, so now that I've cleared the way for new ways to make a living, do the guides have any advice for what next steps I should take towards whatever that might be? Archangel Michael. Yeah, let's do, they're saying a Lemurian card and a mermaid card. So Barbie. And you know, Barbie, I'm going to tell you, Archangel Michael is going, you're finding your way right now. You don't feel like you are, but things are showing up in your life that are showing you the way. And he's showing me baby coming into your life. He's showing me what we talked about earlier. He's showing me that with this pathway cleared before you, you now have more room. It's almost like you were asking for more room to find your path. And I don't know if you asked for it, Barbie, exactly like that, but he's like, you needed more room. It's like you couldn't find your path by looking at the world this way. You needed to broaden out. You needed to move outside of the box. And so, oh, I'm getting chills. And so the first card is the Queen of Pentacles. And so Queen of Pentacles is really about anchoring in and being your best and highest self, being your queen here in the third dimensional realm, in your body, not trying to get out of your body, not trying to get somewhere else, but being right here, right now, present. Us humans have this amazing capacity to not want to be here. We always want to be somewhere else. We want to be in that better future, or we're trapped in the past, right? But the whole key, the big secret to happiness, to manifestation, to love, to good health, to everything is to be present right here. And it takes training. It takes paying attention to your mind, paying attention to where your thoughts are going. It takes that self-discipline. And so Archangel Michael is saying to you, Barbie, that you've learned a lot of self-discipline in the last couple of years. Your path has broadened before you. And he's saying, go out there and find what makes you happy. And it's really cool because the other card that I got is the third eye chakra. And so he wants you to settle into your intuition. He's saying, he's going, humans are really good about listening to their intuition when it tells them what they want to hear, when it tells us what we're comfortable with. And what he's saying, Barbie, is he's saying, don't be afraid to get a little uncomfortable. He's saying being uncomfortable, being uncomfortable is not a bad thing. It means you're growing. It means you're shifting. But what happens is the ego pops in and goes, oh no, oh no, oh no, we can't do this. No, 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 no. Don't change. It's unsafe. It's unsafe out there. That's That's why we feel uncomfortable, because the ego is saying that. There is nothing unsafe about change. You are wise, you are strong, and changing is safe. And so it's learning to talk to that egoic mind that's in there, and tell it, no, we're safe, we're okay, come on, let's go have an adventure. Be curious. That is something that has been coming to me. I'm so glad. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Be curious. Right now is the time to be curious about the world, about yourself, everything. Go ahead and look into all the little nooks and crannies. Be curious. And so the next card, Barbie, is Realm Bridger. You're a realm bridger. You are someone that brings the heavenly realms into the earth and the earthly realms up into heaven. This is why you're intuitive. This is why you're empathic. This is why you were drawn to the spiritual stuff, but you do it in your own unique way. And so Archangel Michael is also saying, don't try to do what other people are doing. Do it your way. He's showing me drumming. He's showing me, I'm hearing like bells. I'm not sure what that is, but it's bells. It's not necessarily a rattle, although I hear rattles in the background, but there's music quality to it. There's a quality of music, of sound to it as well. But he's saying, you're that realm bridger. You're the bridge between heaven and earth, and that's what you're here to do. And so you get to decide how you're going to do it. And he also wants me to tell you that the woman that you told me about earlier is a really, she was like brought to you. She's like, he's using the word gift from heaven. So it's someone, it's an elder. And it was weird that I used that term with you earlier, an elder to teach you too. So pay attention there. So I hope that helps, Barb. I hope that helps. So let's see. Doop doop. Rachel is saying, will I stay in Ohio or will I still go on to New Zealand? Here, let's do the mermaid cards for that, Rach. Bloop, bloop. Oh, and also, you know what? Hang on just a second. I just want to share a little something. We have Rachel, we have Rachel here, and she is the author of a wonderful book that came out. It's called Love Notes from Jesus. Love Notes from Jesus. And it's so wonderful. And I'm being guided to open up and read something from you, because it's not a storybook. It's little snippets. It's vignettes of information that Rachel brought through from Jesus and then made a book out of it. So this one is the one that I just opened to. I want to read it to you guys. And it's called Knowing Me. Come to know me more fully. Now, this is a message from Jesus to Rachel for Rachel to share with all of us. Okay. So, this is a message from Jesus to you guys. And he says, she says, right? Come to know me more fully. As the sunrise knows the depth of night, as the bird knows the beauty of its own song, as the sun and rain know the transcendence of the rainbow, there is no room between us. Isn't that beautiful? This book is full of these. So I wanted to give a shout out to Rach, because this is so wonderful. I open it up every day and pop it open and get a message from Jesus. So thank you, Rachel. So Rachel wants to know, is she staying in Ohio? Archangel Michael's laughing. He goes, does anybody stay in Ohio? No, you will be moving on, honey. Here's what's happening. You are in Ohio right now to get stable, and you may be there for a little while. Don't panic, because the world is getting a little woo, and it was really important that you be amongst your own. He's saying amongst your own. I'm feeling like maybe it's family, or good friends that are like family that are in Ohio, which is why you're there. And it's for you to have stability while we kind of go through some rocky stuff. And he's saying, like, maybe even over the next 6 months. Not that you necessarily will be staying there for that, but it's giving you that stability. And then you have the 8 of cups of change. And so you're in this shift and change right now, Rachel. The change is happening, but it doesn't feel like it because you feel a little bit like you're going backwards, or that you're not making progress. You're making progress, but it's an inner progress. So honor the inner progress. Don't worry so much about where you are in the outer, and the outer will come. And I do feel very strong that you will end up in New Zealand, because you're going to manifest it. But right now isn't quite the time. And so I'm going to leave you with that. That's part of it too, is it's a timing thing. It's like right now is not quite the time. And then let's pick you a Lemurian card. Oh, the crystal keys. Crystal keys. There's a lot of energy, a lot of knowledge, a lot of power in crystals. And I think we talked about it, Rachel, that you do use crystals. Start digging into your crystals, playing with your crystals. Let them become a part of this journey in a really big, big way. Okay. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. I know sometimes I'm so used to doing readings with people. It's like I want to do this whole whoop. And Archangel Michael's like, move along, move along. For those that are waiting. So I hope that helps, Rachel. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many of us that we're healing from the Lemurian stuff, but even more so Atlantis, because we brought so much, and Lemuria and Atlantis kind of existed together at one point. We brought so much of the beauty and the technology of consciousness to Atlantis, and we had such a beautiful thing going, and we got a little bit infiltrated. Maybe ego took on. We dropped in frequency a bit, and a lot of us are really, really having pain around that. I know. I started writing a book a few years ago, and I need to get back to it, about the last end cycle of Atlantis and what happened, and just it was violent and scary, and so many of us really were traumatized, and a lot of us have been working through that trauma over lifetimes, and we're now here to try to make sure that that doesn't happen again, because we understand it's an inner journey. It's not what we're doing on the outside, it's that inner journey, and we're bringing that in to teach to others or to do for ourselves, just to be here to hold that. So yeah, Rachel. Mm, mm, mm. And it's interesting. There's other civilizations that we've been a part of that have been a part of this planet that we've not known about. And some of you may have heard of Tartaria. That was a very advanced civilization that used a lot of kind of the Nikola Tesla type technology, but before Tesla. um, and so there's a lot of us that are here, and we're beginning to remember, and the information is beginning to pop up, and miracles of revelation, where people are finding pictures, people are finding information in old books and that kind of stuff, and these truths are beginning to be revealed. So there's a lot going on. So thank you for being here, Rachel. And then we have Hillary. What do I need to know for my best and highest good regards to leaving my current job and finding something with better management? Oh, there's nothing worse, Hillary. Yikes. Oh, oh my gosh. That just brought to mind, for so much of my life I've been an entrepreneur, and part of it is because of working in a place that had really bad management. And I was young and newly married, and skinny, and the blonde hair and the whole thing, and I had a manager that was sexually harassing. And I just remember just being terrified till my husband, because I got a job from one of his friends, and I'm getting fully harassed, and it was horrible. It was horrible. And it doesn't always have to be that kind of a scenario, but it's that same feeling. It's like, this doesn't feel good. I don't like it here. It's not what I want to do with my life. And so, Hillary, oh yeah. Yeah, you know what? You know what, Hillary? There is something that's coming up for you. And options too. Yeah. Okay. So Hillary, what is being said here? I'm sorry, I'm pulling a bunch of these out. Because you got to have this experience with this job that you had, almost like to spread your wings. Like you just kind of needed to just like bust out of this confine that you've been living in. It's like you were doing the same thing. You were doing and doing different, but it was like in the same container, if that makes a sense, the same bubble, maybe. And this experience kind of busts you out of that bubble. Archangel Michael is saying, yes, 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 yes. He's saying, start looking now. Um, he's saying you're the master of your own ship. You got to experience this like clunky old. He's calling it a clunky old pirate ship, is what he's calling it. It doesn't work. It doesn't serve a purpose. And it just seems to be spinning in the water. So I don't know what he means by that. You might know. But he's saying, absolutely. He's saying, start looking. There is something that's going to be available not too far away from you. If you start looking now, that you could find it as soon as like only 2 weeks from now. So he's saying, don't wait any longer. You're not happy. This isn't what you want to do. He's going to start looking. You'll find another place. It'll be a lot better. And I feel like either a friend will tell you about it, or maybe a friend works there, or it has something. There's a friend that's involved. And it feels like it's probably a male friend. That's gonna be like, oh, yeah, so and so's hiring. Here's their number. Go check it out. But I feel like it could only be a couple of weeks, Hillary. So if you are like, this isn't working for me, start looking. Don't even hesitate for a minute. And Archangel Michael is saying, take this, what you're experiencing now, learn from it, move on. And he's going, that's kind of how things are right now. Time is going, and this card just popped out, the card of Lovers for you, Hillary. And it's in this deck, it is Lovers. It looks like Lovers. It could be related to Lovers, but it also is about choices and having choices. Archangel Michael is saying, Hillary, you have choices. You always have choices. And remembering that is going to make your life, the rest of your life, so much easier. You're never stuck anywhere, in anything, with anyone. You always have choices. And so they want to share that with you. So I hope that helps, Hillary. All right, Rachel, I'll get back to you after I've answered everybody's question. I let everybody have one question. If you need a reading, though, if you got a bunch of questions, make an appointment, honey. MicheleAmburgey.com. Go to services, get a reading with me. You can do 30 minutes or a full hour. Owana is saying, I'm still trying to figure out my purpose here. Me too. I think I know what it is, and then it kind of is not looking like I think it should look like. And then I'm like, well, is that what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be showing up to spiritual chit chat and, doing mini readings and giving little information? Am I supposed to be aren't I supposed to have a big grand reason for being here? Shouldn't I be on TV? Shouldn't I be famous? I've been doing this for 20 years. It doesn't look like how I think it's supposed to look like. And so getting back into that present. Sorry about that. I was listening to Archangel Michael. I've had people say, oh my God, you look like you're having a seizure. I'm not having a seizure. I'm listening to Michael. And a lot of times I kind of move like this because I feel my frequency going up when I tap into that. But still trying to figure out my purpose. I know you usually say, ask a question. Okay. All righty. Let's do it. Lemuria Cards wants to play with you, Owana. Oh, Anna, I study Huna, and one of my favorite words in the Hawaiian word is Ohana, which means family. And it's not just kin family, it's not just blood family, but it's family of the heart. So every time I see your name, I want to call you Ohana. So if I'm not speaking your name right, I'm speaking it from my heart, Ohana family. So, yes. Oh, wow. Crystal keys. Okay, one thing for you, Oana, is crystals. If you're not playing with crystals, get them out. They want to talk to you. The first card you got is the card of fire, and look at this. Look at this. It's the dragon fire. This month, I did at the beginning of the month, I did a big dragon class, and I noticed all of a sudden a lot of people are doing dragon stuff. And the dragons are coming back. There's something really powerful about the dragons. And Owana, I want to tell you, connect with the dragons because they see, oh, I'm getting chills. Woo, girl. Oh my gosh. A lot of people think that dragons are masculine. They're not. They're very feminine. They're all about divine feminine. They're all about the goddess. They're all about power and strength and movement. And you'll notice, look at this. Look at this. You got a feminine form. You got what looks like the yoni here, right? And you've got these dragons coming in like the kundalini. I want to tell you, Oana, if you're not working with your kundalini energy, if you're not doing breath work, maybe even kundalini yoga, if you're not connected to the dragons yet, oh, you're being called. It's what we do in our family when we call each other. We go, ha, caw, caw. And it's just, you just got called. You just got called, honey. And then another card that you have is Manifestia. It's like you're the manifester. You're the manifester. Your purpose may simply to be awesome. What you do with that purpose, now that's what you're here for. And then you got the crystal keys. So I want to say that you've got a lot of power of manifestation, and there's probably some fear around some of that that needs to be cleared. We did a little bit of that clearing, right? We did that clearing today. Keep doing some of that work, and you can just do, I release any fear I have that may be holding me back. But crystals, crystal energy, you are the manifester. Get in with the dragons and the goddess. However that works for you in that kundalini energy. Start working with that kundalini energy. There is a book that's called The Magdalene Manuscripts by Tom Kenyon that talks about Mary Magdalene, talks about the goddess, has amazing, wonderful story, and also has some kundalini practices in it that you can do. And I'm feeling really guided to give you that information, Owana. And it's for everybody too, by the way. It's not just for one. Any of these messages that resonate with you, they're for you too. They're for you too. So Kimberly, please some encouraging, uplifting message. My options are limited right now. Thank you. Okay. And remember, Kimberly, the more specific your question, the more specific your answer. Especially in this venue of doing this, you can, if you're in a session with me and you just are like, I don't know, we can work through that whole thing. But since we're doing just the quickies here, but I'm feeling where you're at, Kimberly. I'm feeling you, girl. So let's see what's happening. Look what you got again. Kimberly, this is for you too. The goddess, the kundalini, the dragons. Goddess, kundalini, dragons, connect into that. Start learning about that. I also have, if anybody's interested in my dragon class that I did at the beginning of this month, it's for sale for $22. I don't have it anywhere. Contact me and get the dragon class. It's pretty cool. And also, Kimberly, yeah, you have the card. Well, check this out. Isn't that gorgeous? It's all about the heart. Archangel Michael is telling me you have fear in your heart. You're afraid. There's some fear in your heart. And he's saying, move into it. Stop running away from it. Move into it. Because when you move into the fear, you realize that it's something doesn't really have that much power over you, but you're running away from it gives it power. So, and he's saying you're a powerful woman. Oh, look at this. More heart energy. You're very powerful, Kimberly. Archangel Michael is saying you're not limited at all. Your view of the limitation comes from the fear that he's telling you to get out of. See this here? Working with that heart, moving into that fear in your heart and letting it become a part. And look, she's a mermaid too. Um, yeah, letting it fall out of your heart. I almost want to just like grab into your heart and just pull that fear out of there. Um, he's saying something that we need to remember whenever we're feeling fear. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm so itchy. When we're feeling fear, especially when it's in the chest area or the navel area, is we have to remember that fear he's going, fear is a lie. Fear is something that we gave ourselves to keep us small. And he's saying, but it's not real. It's a feeling, but it's not real. He's saying there isn't a dragon on the other side of that fear that's going to eat you up and kill you. That fear is something that holds you from stepping into more of your power. And you are a natural manifester, Kimberly. And so I release the fear that I have in my heart, in my belly, in my body, and I open myself up to my greatest self. And I want you to start saying that. I release the fear that I am feeling and I open myself up to my greatest self. And this is for everybody, okay? I open myself up to my greatest self. And what you start doing is you start pulling in that wise, that I am, that presence. So often we're disconnected from that because look at the world we live in. You know, it's like we don't even you can't even say God anywhere without you know. Um, and it's like, no, we need to get back to that goddess self. God is within. Also, there is a painting, I believe it's by Michelangelo, that's on the Sistine Chapel, that people are starting to realize it's the one where God is reaching. I think it's David, or maybe it's Michael. I'm not sure the fingers, but the fingers aren't quite touching. And when you look at the area that God is sitting in, it's a brain, and God is touching the pineal gland and is reaching out to the other figure. I want to call him Michael. I really do. Um, and trying to touch and make that connection between the pineal, the God within, and humanity. Hear this, everybody. This is really important. And Kimberly, thank you for asking your question, because this is for you. It's getting to that God self. Um, and coming here and being a part of this is a wonderful way of doing that. I've got all kinds of stuff on my YouTube channel to help with healing and clearing and teachings about that. So go take a look at that and check it out. Um, yeah, and I know that when you're in a situation where it looks like the options are limited, Archangel Michael is saying, my options are unlimited now. He's like, wants you to like grab that and like, my options are unlimited now. That's how we unlock stuff. And I know our world doesn't tell us that. I know nobody out there tells us this, but this is the secret. This is the secret. And so, Kimberly, I'm going to hold you and kind of let me know. Let me know how it goes. You can do this. And I swear to you, if you start doing what I'm suggesting here, within a couple of days, this is going to shift for you. All right. So let me know. You guys know how to get a hold of me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm all over the place. Let me know how it's going. Okay. Um, let's see. Who do we have next? Rosie would like to know if I'm ready to take the next step in my life. And what is it? Um, Archangel Michael is saying, he's saying, and this is a question that all of you are asking in one way or another. He's saying the next step, and he says, I cannot say this enough. And he's telling me to tell you that I need to hear this all the time too. Um, the next step is always to be taken from the heart, and it's to be in joy. If you're doing something that is making you miserable, it's time to make a move. It's time to pivot towards something that makes you joy. Now, maybe you can't quit a job that you don't like, but you can bring more joyful things into your life. You can start taking walks. You can spend time in nature, spend more time petting your cat, spend more time with children. You can paint, you can sing, you can dance. There's things that you can do that bring more joy into your life. When you do that, it unlocks the answer to what is my next step. And so Archangel Michael is saying, Rosie, your next step is a jig. He's saying a two-step, do-do-do-do-do-do, country music. It's a waltz. He wants you to dance. Rosie, he wants you to dance. He wants you to go and dance in your frickin' living room. Mermaids are coming through. Six of Cups, reflection, laying claim to the greatness that is you, and then also practicality, right? The king of wands, okay? Being practical in your mind. And that doesn't mean necessarily practical in a third dimensional way. It's being practical in your heart, in your soul. And then also he's got this card of recovery. It's like you've recovered from a lot. Don't feel like you have to rush either. He's like, get stable here where you're at. Okay, get your feet underneath you, start dancing, and you'll dance your way into this answer. Okay, and he's saying by the time September rolls around, things will be very, very different for you. And he's saying, don't rush. Don't rush. He's saying, let it happen organically. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Charlene is saying, ooh, I'm starting to see gray or mantis head shaped clouds more and more. Oh yeah, the mantis are here. They're an ET a species that have been here for a long time, but they're really showing up more and more. Um, and yeah, they're probably trying to communicate with you. Oh my gosh, they're so loving. You don't get a lot of communication with them, like coming in and kind of talking, but they come in and they're present with you. They're very much about healing humanity, healing the mind. They're saying the souls won't heal if we can't heal the mind, okay? Getting the mind to slow down. There is, and I have a YouTube show that I do. It's called New Earth Rising. Me and a friend of mine, Sharon Kamara, we do it together. And we are going to have Jaylene Tracy on in a couple of weeks. And she is all about the mantis. And so, Charlene, I want you to put that. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the date when she's going to be on. Really quick. I want you to come. I want you to make sure that you don't miss that. She's going to be on July 28th. So Charlene, write that down. Write that down. Yeah, it looks like the picture. They're trying to communicate with you. I love them. I speak with the mantids. I met Jaylene, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago or so. And she started talking about the mantises. I'm like, oh my God, I'd had an experience with them years and years and years ago. And I love them. They're so sweet. They're so kind. But it's funny because they look kind of like a bug and it's like, but they're not. They're really good. So open yourself up. And if you're seeing them in the clouds, start talking to them because they are communicating. They're presenting themselves to you. And just tell them that you're open to communicate with them. And then I'm going to recommend, and I do this with a lot of people, is sit down and kind of get relaxed, get a little meditative and open your mind and have a pen and paper and write down some messages or images or something that you might get from them. You may be one of the 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 bridges between heaven and earth. We have so many benevolent, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. My nose is itching like crazy. Does that mean I'm gonna get money? Um, there's so many extraterrestrial, um species and beings that are friendly and loving, and they wanna be here with us, and they understand that right now, our planet's kind of under the influence of some dark ones. And so they really wanna communicate with us, they really want to connect in with us. So the mantids are good. The mantids are good, Charlene, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of them. Okay? And always, as always, anytime you're communicating, say, "I only work with love and light." Make sure you tell them, "I only work with love and light. If you're not gonna do love and light, out you go." Okay? So you're welcome, Barbie. You're welcome, Rachel. Oh, Barbie's saying it was 4:44, Pacific time when I was reading that message out of Rachel's book from Jesus. I love it. Very cool. All right, there. I'm wondering if I'll do okay in my new role. I'm struggling to learn. Let's take a look at that, Ver. And Rachel's saying feels like all the messages are for all of you. They are. They are. That's so wonderful. That's part of why I keep doing this, because before I was like, well, people get messages, whatever, and then they leave and they forgot. But it's like this marination of messages and stuff. So, you know what, Vera, I want to say yes. You are, and you're struggling to learn because you're using literally using new parts of your brain. Archangel just showed me like new parts of your brain are opening up, new way of thinking of things, new way of processing the way you think about things. And he's saying, and it feels like a struggle right now. And he's saying, but the outcome is going to be, he's using the word miraculous. Um, so what we have is right now you're kind of at a crossroads, like you can come, you can go. Um, but taking the path of responsibility right now is okay. Trust where you're at. Um, and then can't make this shit up. There is rewards and growth. So he's saying don't run away just yet. Keep at it. And there's also there's something about what you're doing and what you're learning that's going to help you in the future. I don't feel like this new role that you're talking about is a forever and ever and ever thing. I feel like you're really here to learn something too. So don't, yeah, it's like Archangel Michael is saying it isn't ideal, but it is important that you are where you're at and doing what you're doing right now. So I hope that that helps. I hope that that helps. So very cool. Ah, Julie, how are you doing, sweetie? Happy solstice. Yep, mermaids. We got to have the mermaids. Julia is so wonderful. She helps me with everything. She is my media consultant and she's amazing. She has helped me get my shit together. It's not completely together, but she's helping me. I got to do my part too. So thank you for being here, Julia. I love it. Yes, we got the mermaids. Mermaid class coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Oana, oh my God, Oana, next month we're going to be learning about opening the voice, and we're going to be doing a light language opening training and activation. You got to come. It is whoop whoop. It is going to be on July 14th. It's a Thursday evening at 6. I want you to write that down on your calendar. Um, You gotta come. That's just what I'm saying. Contact me later, let me know you gotta come to this class. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be activating light language. All next month, my Thursday evening classes are all about opening the voice, learning to tone, learning light language, learning how to heal past and childhood, trauma with language. We have to open this up now. We have to. We have been for so long, and this is the next step for humanity, and especially the feminine energies. Doesn't mean boy or girl. It means that feminine energies within us all need that voice to come back. And Oana, we need you. We need you to be opening up to that dragon energy. Oh my God. I feel it so much. That's so cool. And Kundalini, the Kundalini. So get on in there. Get on in there. All right, guys. Yep. Okay, honey. Kimberly, now is the moment. Do not dwell on what you're afraid of. Dwell on what you want. And I know, I know, I know. I've been there. I've been there. And we're all sitting on that breaking edge. You know, I'm watching my little bit of savings I've been working for 40 years just woo. And I'm kind of facing a little bit of that sort of stuff myself. Um so and we all are, not to take away from your situation, but you there are choices, and this is really, you're in this situation to learn how to break out of what seems to be a truth and create your own truth. So just let me know how you're doing too, okay? Just let me know how you're doing with that. I don't feel like you're going to be homeless. I really don't. I feel like that there's a hand underneath you to hold you up. Oh, Linda, yeah, false evidence appearing real. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, Vera, I'm so glad. It's so nice to see you here. I was wondering where you were. So good, good, good. Ooh, very good. Yep, put it in your calendar. Next month, this month has been so fun with the mysticals, but next month's the Thursday classes, guys. Every Thursday, 6 p.m. You can go get over on my website. It's over there. Julia, we got to get the information on the calendar. So super cool, guys. Oh, Linda, I don't want to kiss a fool. The itchy nose and feeling itchy, Linda's going, I think it means you'll kiss a fool. I already kissed the fool. I'll go kiss the mirror. There, done, over with. That's cute. That's super cute. I love that. Thank you. Very good. Thank you, guys. And we're at 20 after. I've got a client coming in a couple minutes. So I love you. Love you. Keep in mind that I do all kinds of classes, meditations every Wednesday at 6 p.m. All you got to do is let me know that you're interested. I'll send you the registration link. Thursday classes. We've got all this going on Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I am here for you guys as much as I can be. Lots of fun. And also my YouTube. Start swimming through my YouTube. My wonderful Julia has helped me learn to organize my YouTube so you guys can find stuff a lot better. And there's all kinds of stuff in there. Go immerse yourself in it. There's healing, there's messages, there's teaching, there's fun stuff. So go check that out. Thank you, Rosie. I love to see you too. This is so cool. And Julia, oh my God, I love you. And don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified that we're here, because I'm here every Tuesday. But a lot of times things get lost in the whole universe of social media and stuff. And if you do that, you get a notification just a little bit before, like half an hour before, 15 minutes before, something like that I'm going to be on, so you guys can get on here and party with me, because that's what I'm about. I want to have fun, and I can't have fun if I'm sitting here alone. So you have a responsibility to come and play. So Rachel, yep. Yeah, a lot of us are breaking open the light language. A lot of these voices are breaking open, because if you think about it, that throat is the passageway, is the portal. It's even the stargate, if you will, between the heart and the intuition and the mind. And we have to open this up again. We have to get this going. We have to move through it. It's also the opening up of Christ consciousness, the bringing through the Christ energies. Again, we're not talking about Jesus, we're talking about Christ consciousness, that unconditional love, that light, that ascended presence, that we're able to be present in the present moment, in love, in light, in peace, in harmony, right here, right now, regardless of what is happening around us. And that's one aspect of it, but one of the powerful ones of what we need right now, too. And so, yeah. And let's see, saving the date, save the date, guy. We got all kinds of stuff. Something else we're going to be doing that is really neat is I just got my certification as a sound healer, as a certified vocal sound healer. And I've been doing it for years and years and years. And I wanted to get certified. And I wanted to learn the ins and outs. And it was so cool because I'm like going, oh, I've been doing that all along. Oh my God, I've been doing that all along. But I've learned a lot of technical things to help you guys with. So very good. And all those Thursdays, learning to tone, just doing the tones, is very, very healing. Learning how to do harmonics and overtones with your voice, very healing. And we're also going to be doing, I think it's the last week, where we're going to be toning our name and using our name to clear childhood trauma and to bring more light and love in. I did just a 10-minute thing of this, and I was like, oh my God, it's super powerful. So come on, people. Let's do it. Oh, thank you guys. I'm so glad you guys are here. Okay, I got to run because I got a client coming. So love you, love you, love you. Here every Tuesday. Ring the bell, do a like, subscribe, ding-a-ling-a-ling. Make sure you get notified. Hi, Laura. I'm so sorry. I got to run. I got a client coming. Come back next week. Come back next week. I love you guys. Thank you for coming and playing. This is my joy. It really is. I just love doing this. So peace, love, harmony. Mwah. A million I love yous.